Which one should you buy? Asus TUF F16 or HP Victus 2024? Let's review. Both of these laptops are one of the best mid-range gaming laptops in the market, and they are one of the best-selling laptops in the market. Both of them are great and I like both of them. Asus TUF F16 and HP Victus 2024. Let's start the review by talking about the body and chassis design. Both laptops have almost the same material. There is a plastic shell and plastic keyboard deck along with aluminum lid, which makes these two laptops feel the same. And because of that, I can say both of them are acceptable and good for a mid-range gaming laptop. But there is a catch. HP Victus 2024 is better than HP Victus 2023 in terms of hinge, but the hinge design is a one-point hinge in the middle. Because of that, the laptop screen is a little more wobbly, and also you can't open the screen with just one hand. And the laptop will lift up when you try to open it with one hand, and this is a problem here. But Asus TUF is not like that. You can open it easily without any problem. Because of that, I should say, in terms of build quality, Asus TUF F16 is a better choice. As for the keyboard, Asus TUF F16 has a single zone RGB full-size keyboard with 4 dedicated buttons for armor case, mute microphone button and volume buttons, which is good, and the keyboard feels great. I like it, there is no problem with it. But I should say HP Victus 2024 has a better keyboard because it feels better, it feels more clicky, and overall I can say I love the HP Victus keyboard. And because of that, even though it has only a white backlight, there is no RGB in our model, but HP Victus has a better keyboard. So the keyboard score will go to HP Victus. But in trackpad, Asus TUF has a glass trackpad with almost accurate precision, and it feels good, it looks good, it has a tough typography in it, and overall I can say the trackpad in Asus TUF F16 is good, and it's one of the best trackpads in any mid-range gaming laptop. But HP Victus has plastic trackpad and it feels better. I don't know why. It feels more accurate, and because of that the trackpad is a tie. They are both good. But in the port selection side, things a little messy, especially for HP Victus. Both of these laptops have 4 USB ports, 1 HDMI 2.1 port, 1 RJ45 at 1 gigabits per second, 1 good quality audio combo jack, which is good. It supports, I think, both of laptops. They support high-res audio, and also 1 charging port to charge the laptop. HP Victus will charge with a 230 watt charger and Asus TUF with a 240 watt charger. I will talk about the heaviness in a second, but I should say 4 ports for a gaming laptop is not enough in my opinion. We need 5. 2 USB Type-C and 3 USB Type-A ports. Asus TUF at least gave us 2 USB Type-C ports and 2 USB Type-A ports. These 2 USB Type-A ports supports 5 gigabit per second speed, and one of the USB Type-C ports supports 10 gigabits per second, and the other one supports Thunderbolt 4 at 40 gigabits per second. In the other hand, HP Victus only has 1 USB Type-C with 3 USB Type-A ports. All of these ports only supports 5 gigabits per second, and the USB-C supports Thunderbolt 4. The USB Type-C and one of USB Type-A ports supports a sleep and charge feature, which means if you put your laptop in sleep mode, you can charge your devices like your mobile phone with the USB Type-A port, which is good and sweet. I think Asus TUF only supports it with one of its USB Type-C ports, but here it is, and this is better in HP, but one USB Type-C port is not enough. And I can say because of that, the port selection score will go to Asus TUF. You all know, HP engineers know too, they all have USB Type-C accessories. USB Type-A is not that common in 2024, and because of that, at least we could get 2 USB Type-C ports. It's a miss for HP. And about the weight, The weight on the both machines almost the same. There is a 100 and 150 grams difference between these two laptops, but I should say the 240 watt charger is lighter than a 230 watts HP charger. Charger for the Asus is a 240 and it is lighter than 250 charger on the HP. I don't know why, and because of that the weight score will go to Asus TUF 2. So what about displays? Both of them has 16-inch displays, but HP has 16.1-inch display, and I don't know why, but they put a 16:9 aspect ratio 16-inch screen on a laptop. I don't know why. We could do a lot with that more screen on the bottom, and it doesn't feel good because the bezel is too thick. And overall, I can't say I like this aspect ratio because it is a little too weird, because it is not 15.6 16:9 and it is not 16-inch 16:10, and because of that I can say I don't like this display at all. There are two other variants of this display: 2K, better color accuracy and better brightness display, and we have the worst model here. This model is a lot weaker than Asus TUF. It is not good, and Asus TUF has a 16-inch 16:10 screen with 100% sRGB and almost 300 nits brightness, but HP Victus only supports 250 nits of brightness, 64% sRGB color coverage, and all of that is just not acceptable for a mid-range gaming laptop at $1200. I don't like this. But if you can buy this laptop from the HP store, you can configure this laptop with better screens like that 1080p 100% sRGB or that 2K model, which is the best. I like that. In the performance side, things will get interesting. Why? Because HP Victus here has Intel 14700HX processor with 20 cores and 28 threads. It is too much compared to Asus TUF F16 with 13650HX processor that only has 14 cores. 14 cores. And because of that, we'll see a lot of great things in this section. As for the cooling, I should say Asus TUF F16 has better cooling because it has other models with Intel 14900HX processor that we reviewed, and we will put the link to that review under this video in the description. But HP Victus has a different view on the cooling. HP always do that. They put their cooling system on a situation that works always under 90 degrees. And because of that, the CPU and the GPU wattage and frequencies are a little limited. Because of that, again, we will see benchmarks are lower than we are expected. But it is okay, because anyway, 14700HX processor will be better than 13650HX processor, there is no doubt. So let's talk about benchmarks. In Cinebench R23 we tested both laptops, and in Asus TUF F16 we got more than 18,500 scores in multi-core, which is good. It is one of the highest scores we've seen in 13650HX processor, and in HP Victus we got almost 22,000 scores, which is nice, and this score is lower than we were expected, but 14700HX is just powerful even in this limited cooling system. In Cinebench 2024 we tested both laptops, and in Asus TUF F16 we got around 1100 scores, which is good, but in HP Victus we got more than 1250 scores, and this is just insane. More than 10 to 15% difference between these two laptops, even though they are in the same price brackets. And because of that, I can say just now, if you want performance, you should just go for Victus. In the GPU side, because of the cooling is a little out of hand for HP. Why? Because in the GPU test in Cinebench 2024, Asus TUF has 10,877 scores, and HP Victus has only 10,231 scores. It is too low for 4060, but the cooling is a little limited. Also, we tested Geekbench 6, as you can see on this screen, and as always, HP has better results in Geekbench. I don't know why, but they are good at Geekbench. I don't know why. We also tested Time Spy to see how well it can perform in 3D applications and games. So the results are, as you can see on the screen, is interesting. We have almost 5% to 10% difference between these two laptops. And I can say the CPU performance on HP Victus is just carrying everything, like this Time Spy test. In Adobe Premiere, we rendered a 4K project in both laptops, and we got 4 minutes and 41 seconds render time in Asus TUF F16, but in HP Victus, we got 5 minutes and 26 seconds. I repeated this test for I think 5 or 6 or 7 times with different situations, and all of them gave me this number, this exact number, 5 minutes and 26 seconds. And I don't know why, but Adobe Premiere should be better on the HP Victus because we have better RAM, we have better SSD, we have better CPU. All of that should result in better render time in Adobe Premiere, but it didn't. And because of that, I can say this score will go to Asus TUF. In Adobe After Effects, we got 4 minutes and 22 seconds in Asus TUF and 4 minutes and 52 seconds in HP Victus. This is just insane. Single core performance is the most important thing when you are rendering an After Effects project. This laptop performed a lot worse in single core performance, but it is showing better results in Adobe After Effects. As for the games, we tested Cyberpunk 2077 in both laptops in preset Ray Tracing Ultra plus frame generation, preset Ultra with FSR, and another preset, it's a custom preset without anything, Ray Tracing Ultra without frame generation, DLSS or FSR or anything, to see how well they can perform in raw performance. And as we expected, HP Victus performed a little better in minimum performances or lower graphics, but Asus TUF performed better because it has better cooling for its GPU. In Rainbow Six Siege, we got almost the same results, especially in the low quality mode, but performance was a little better on HP Victus because it has more powerful CPU. We also tested Valorant in both machines in preset high and low, and as you can see on the screen, the results are better in HP Victus. Why? Because Valorant is a CPU heavy game, and if your laptop has better CPU, it will have better performance. Apex Legends is another game. It is also an eSport title, but Apex Legends is GPU heavy, and because of that, the performance was a little better on Asus TUF, but it was more stable because of the CPU performance on the HP Victus. We also tested Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and we got better results in HP Victus. Why? Because it has better CPU. So in the performance side, we can say for the benchmark, we can give the score to HP Victus. For the content creation workloads, we can give the score to Asus F16, and we should give the gaming score to HP Victus because it gave us more stable frame rates. So let's talk about speakers, webcam, and battery. Speakers on both laptops are good, but if you want a good speaker quality, I suggest you to buy a external speaker. It will only cost you $40. So what do you think about the webcam quality on Asus TUF F16 and HP Victus 2024? I think it is obvious because Asus TUF uses a 720p webcam instead of 1080p on HP Victus, but I think it is obvious. There is no doubt that HP has a better webcam, but what do you think about the mic quality? Tell us in the comments below which one is better, Asus TUF F16 or HP Victus 2024. In battery life, I wasn't expecting that because Asus TUF has less power hungry CPU, has more capacity in the battery, and HP Victus has less capacity. It only has 70 watt hour. Asus TUF has 90 watt hour battery, and HP gave us almost 1 hour or 1 hour and a half better battery life, which is insane. I don't know what HP is doing, but they're doing it right, and I hope others can take a lesson and do what HP is doing with their laptop. Overall, in conclusion, I can say if you want performance, if you want better performance and the best of the best in this price, you should get HP Victus. But if you want a better overall package in this price range, you should go for Asus TUF because it has better screen, it has better build quality and better cooling for overall GPU and the CPU. It is on your side. Which one do you choose? Tell us in the comments below. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.